Hey everyone, Richard here with a quick update on the writing. Those of you who listen to the audiobooks know book 13 of Dragons of Isentol came out at the end of October. It was supposed to have book 14 out at the end of November. Unfortunately, I've been dealing with some burnout creatively, so I have not really gotten a lot of progress on it. The good news is I went to a writers conference the week before Thanksgiving. Over 1,800 authors were there, and it's a learning conference. So you learn things about the business to help you sell more books, things like that, craft, all kinds of different topics. But I got to meet a lot of indie writers that I've known on Facebook for years, and got to actually meet them in person. It was very cool, and it was very energizing as well. So I got to hear a talk by Dean Wesley Smith and several other high-powered authors. And so a lot of the stuff that I took away from that conference has really re-energized me, got me out of that creative burnout. So I am working on book 14. Chapter 1 is done, and I am getting ready to just go full steam to working on getting it done. My plan originally for this year was to, well, a couple months ago, my plan was to have two more in this series, so 15 books total for that series. Um, and I was gonna say done, but I've said that twice before, so who knows? I wrote the first five, said I was done, came back, wrote another five, said I was done, and then I came back this year and did another. I'm doing another five. So I'm not gonna say the series is finished or done because who knows? Maybe I'll come back with more ideas. But as of right now, the plan is I will be done with that series. It'll end at 15, and then I'm working on a secret project next. I'm not going to give any details about it, but I will say if you've been listening to all the books on my channel, you're going to love what's coming. So people are going to be pretty excited, I think. This will be only one book. Again, I don't want to give anything away, so I'm not going to specify anything. I'm just going to surprise you guys when the book comes out. So, uh, anyways, so I'll be working on that, and then that'll be early next year because it's already December. I'm pretty sure I will have book 14 written by the end of the month. Hopefully, it will be narrated, edited, all that stuff, and able to be published by the end of the month. We'll see. With the holidays, it's a little harder to get, the narrators and stuff, because they're spending time with family and whatnot. So, and same with me. I take the week of Christmas off every year, and I'm doing that again this year. And so I will be spending a lot of time, hopefully writing, and getting things author-wise done. Um, so just wanted to give an update on that because I know at the end of October I said it would probably be around a month, and then I ran into the burnout and just kind of struggling to write. So um, I think I'm through that. I've had that. I've experienced that burnout a couple times in the last 12 to 18 months. So, but something that helped that I learned while I was at the conference really helped mentally get me into a different place to realize it's not necessarily burnout creatively, but more work wise. So so I should be good on that. But just want to give you guys a quick update, kind of share what's been going on. And I know you guys devour these books very quickly because they are written like a TV series, so they're very short, intentionally so. Uh, but surprisingly, it can take me a long time to write them. Um, if I know exactly what I'm doing with the plot for that book, which was the case for the first 10, I can write them in about 12 to 15 days. Um, and that's like not consecutively, but if I usually write every day, but if I don't, like I take a day off or whatever, I'm just saying number of days. I can write one of these books in 12 to 15 days. Um, and then with others, like Tides of Darkness, I was still kind of struggling with the burnout stuff, and that took me a lot longer than what I thought it would have taken me. So, so that's kind of where I'm at. Book 14, I'm hoping, like I said, by the end of this month it'll be done and out. We'll see. I kind of know where I'm going with this story arc of these 5 books that I launched for the series, but I am trying to figure out how I'm going to execute it, basically. So yeah. So there'll be 2 more at least. And then I said Secret Project, and then I am working on a couple other things. If you've seen some of my other videos, I brought on some authors that I invited to an anthology series that I have. Well, I have 2 anthologies. They're set in the same world. Every anthology has a theme. So a third one, I'm putting together a third one that'll be coming out next year. We're going to launch it on Kickstarter. And I'm sure those of you who come on here just to listen to audiobooks, you're tired of hearing about Kickstarter. But I will preface that with Kickstarter is helping me to continue putting books out, especially for projects that traditionally don't really sell that well, like the anthologies. They don't really make a lot of money, but all of the people that I invite into these anthologies are extremely talented writers, and I'm jealous of some of them at their craft and the quality of stories that they write. And so I just want to shine a light on these people as much as I can. I do have a small fan base. It's like, obviously I'm not making enough to make a living off of writing yet. That is the ultimate goal. We'll see. I don't know how long it'll be before I get there. So anyways, so Kickstarter is kind of a tool in my, accessories or whatever you want to call it. It's a tool to help me continue putting out stuff. So the third anthology will be coming next year. It'll launch on Kickstarter. And then it'll go to retail after that. The cool thing about Kickstarter, if you haven't listened to any of my other videos, is that I do special things for those editions. So either they have, interior illustrations or things like that, character cards. I did some of those for the Fallen King Chronicles 10-year anniversary edition, and things like that. So when you back on Kickstarter, you're getting stuff either that aren't going to be available anywhere else, or you're getting it at least 6 months before anyone else. So the last campaign I did was for hardback omnibus of books 11 through 13 for Dragons of Isentol. That will not be available through retail until March. So those of you who backed that campaign, if you are watching this video and you backed that campaign, you get that 6 months before anyone else. So just so you know, that's why I'm utilizing Kickstarter. I had been looking at it in 2021. I was thinking about jumping on there to see, if I could utilize that platform to, one, find more fans, to do things like the 10-year anniversary edition that I would not be able to do otherwise. And it's worked out really well, especially because Brandon Sanderson jumped on there in March and funded the highest Kickstarter ever, and it was for books. So it's awesome. A lot of his fans jumped onto that platform. They're still on that platform. They're looking for books, and so it's a win-win. So with that said, I will be doing at least 3 Kickstarters next year. One will be coming in January. They do have a Make 100 campaign. What that is basically you're offering 100 items or 100 things. And so for those of you who listen to PD Mac and I do our weekly readings of the Dragons of Isentol series, we're going to do a Make 100 challenge for Kickstarter for that series. These books will be hardbacks. They will have interior illustrations. We're hoping for 5 interior illustrations for each book. So each book will be a hardback edition with interior illustrations. This will be limited to 100 sets. So these versions will not be available anywhere else. When we take these books to hardback on retail, they will not have the interior illustrations. They will not be, the same. They'll be different. They'll be lacking essentially because you can't do on retail a lot of what you can do through Kickstarter. We can do, a one-off print run, things like that. For typical print and all that, we use print-on-demand companies because we don't have to hold the inventory. It doesn't get printed until someone buys a copy. It makes it a lot easier. So, but basically, look forward to that. January, PD Mac and I are launching a campaign for 100 sets, hardback sets, of our Dragons of Isentol series. They will have dust jackets, they will have interior illustrations, and we'll see, how that campaign goes and what comes from it. There will be a campaign sometime early next year for the third anthology of short stories that I put together. It's in the world of Mirestone. So if you haven't listened to the first or read the first two, none of them are in audio, which brings me to another point that I'll speak on in just a second. And then I'm doing another Kickstarter for the secret project potentially. We'll see. And it'll segue into something else. So we'll see. Like I said, I don't want to give anything away on that. So to go back to what I was just talking about, the Mirestone stuff is basically short stories from multiple authors. I lay out a theme, and people write a story to fit the theme, and it's very cool to see how people come up with something that matches into the theme I've given them. All different kinds of ideas. It's very cool. Anyways, those are not on audio because audio is so expensive to produce, and anthologies, just from my limited experience, don't really do anything sales-wise. Now, I do sell a lot of the anthologies in print when I do in-person events at conventions and things. But as far as the ebooks, they're just not, I don't know. I'm sure I'll figure out the marketing on them one day. But I don't want to stop doing them just because they don't sell in the format that I make the most money, which is ebooks. Most of my sales are ebooks. I don't do a lot of print sales. And audio is a close second. So, guess I'm posing a question if you've listened this far, 13 minutes in. If you've listened this far, would you be interested in listening to audiobooks that are read by AI? Now, when I say AI, a lot of people think robotic voice, all that. Just put that out of your head because Google, through Google Play Publishing, they have created an AI reading program, and it is extremely good. I'm lacking words on that. I was thinking, it's probably not going to be that good. I listened to it, played around with it on a nonfiction book that I have, and it's very good. You can hardly, I say hardly, because as I'm proofing some things, there's like a longer pause or, something like that. But basically, it is almost hard to tell that it is not a real person, which is amazing. I'm not going to use them for my regular stuff. All my books will be done with a real narrator because you cannot beat a person, right? Like they put emotion into it and it takes acting, things like that. So all of my regular books, those will be regular, they'll be done by a professional narrator. But for these anthologies and just like some short stories, some things that it doesn't make sense to pay a narrator to do because they're so short, and there's really no return on investment on it. I'm thinking about doing AI. So leave a comment below if you would be interested in listening to, the short story anthologies just being read by an AI. And if you're, if enough people are interested, I will go ahead and work on that. It's going to take some time because I have to proof it, reads it out and you listen to how it's pronouncing the names. You got to change things if it's not correct. So there's some work with that. But If you guys would enjoy that, then I will put it on my task list to do. Um, so leave a comment, let me know what you think, and we'll go from there. See if I'm gonna do it. Um, so yeah, I'm not gonna plan out too far ahead in terms of what I'm telling you guys I'm working on. Like I said, 14 and 15 for Osnen, and then a secret project. After that, I'm a little undecided on what I'm doing. I do have an idea for a new trilogy, brand new series, um, and we'll kind of see. We'll see if that goes next. My plan for this year, now that it's almost over, which is not going to happen, was to go back and revisit some of my older series, like The Wizard and the Frog. It was supposed to be at least 3 books, written kind of episodically, like I do with the Osmond stuff. Um, and I was going to come back to that. I did not come back to that. I was going to come back to Galactic Mercenaries, do a couple more of those. I did not get to that. My goals and what actually happened for this year were vastly different. So I think in an earlier video I mentioned I was planning on 10 to 12 books this year, and because of the burnout and everything else, that just didn't happen. So I'm not going to overwhelm myself for next year. Just telling myself I'm going to write X number of books, and then I just get burnt out or whatever. I'm not going to do that. So I will just say, at least in the next couple months, you will see Osnen 14, 15, the secret project that I'm going to work on, and then from there, once I start making headway into that secret project, I'll decide what I'm doing next. It could be that new series that I'm thinking about. It could be anything else. I could go back and do what I said I was going to do this year, which is go back to Galactic Mercenaries and these older series, write those, finish those out. It's just a little difficult to make that decision when those series haven't done anything, haven't really sold anything. Now the audiobooks for Galactic Mercenaries did amazing. They sold way more than the ebooks did, which is weird because my Dragons of Isentol series and my Marked by the Dragon series, they're both the same length as those, but they're sci-fi. So I don't know. Maybe the sci-fi crowd is not really into the shorter books. I don't know. All the audio people loved them, so there's clearly a market, but I haven't hit that market for the ebook people. Um, so yeah, we'll see. But at least for the next 3 months or so, you could basically, excuse me, you can basically expect to see 14, 15 for Osnan and the Secret Project coming. Um, and then, we'll look at the AI stuff for those short story anthologies and maybe some of the other stuff I've written that has not actually been published because it's too short, or it was stuff I wrote years ago when I was first starting, and I don't think it's any good. That's my opinion. Um, so we'll see. But anyways, this video went a little bit longer than I was intended, so if you listen to the whole thing, thank you for listening to me ramble on and tell you about what my plans are. So hopefully everyone understands the delay on the next book for Osnan. If I could have gotten it done, I would have. I was just dealing with stuff, burnout. So anyways, look forward to more books coming soon. Thank you for supporting this channel, listening to my books, commenting, liking stuff. Appreciate it. And we'll see what 2023 holds. Thank you guys, and till next update.